I, 35F, have been with my husband, 38M, for 10 years, and we have 2 children together, 9F and 5F. My husband works very hard, holding multiple jobs throughout the week. Recently, we had a discussion about taking time off and spending some time together. It is difficult because, due to things in his past, he accumulated a lot of debt, which is why he works so much. I work over 60 hours a week and take care of the household and childcare duties, while much of his income goes to paying off his debts. I keep up with the household chores, do the housework, lawn work, repairs, etc., and he contributes where he can. This year, he has taken time off for family and co-worker events. He has scheduled time to take trips with his friends, and when he does, I'm the designated babysitter. Several days a week after he gets home, he is responsible for his parents. He takes them grocery shopping, fixes things at their house, and does some of their housework. I forgot to mention he is one of 5 siblings, all of whom live close to his parents' home. His parents assist with childcare for his siblings but not for us. I've told him my frustrations about consistently being placed on the back burner. The other day, I lost it. I found out he invited his family to our house for a family reunion last week. I thought he took time off work, but he didn't. The house was a mess, and most of the mess was his. I was expected to clean the house, get the groceries, and run the kids to their weekend events. I started cooking and setting up for the reunion, which he scheduled for 4 p.m., the time he gets off work. The kids are helpful in doing their chores and cleaning their rooms. I got the house clean, and by the time his family started arriving, I was stewing because he was still at work. He got back, and then soon asked why there weren't any clean towels as he was about to take a shower, and I freaked out in front of his whole family. I ran down the list of how I am always on the back burner for these people, how I am one person contributing to the household while he works just to pay off his debts, how I have no security or support in this relationship, and that he is like having another child. I let it all out. I ended with, "I'm done," packed a bag, and took off. I'm now sitting in a parking lot, hysterical. No, the kids weren't present, they were outside playing. He is a good father to the kids, but as a husband, I feel like I am better off by myself. I have so much resentment towards him. He hasn't called, he texted me loud and clear, which made me even angrier because this is exactly how he deals with everything. I don't know where to go from here. Update 1. Thank you all for the advice, the kind words, and the tough love support. I'm not going to lie, much of it was cathartic to hear that I'm not overreacting, and it hurts to hear that I am being taken advantage of. So, here's where I'm at. After the loud and clear text, I was bombarded with phone calls and texts from his family. I sent a message to my husband to give me some space and, if he had any care for me in this relationship, to call off his dogs. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb with the exception of my children's iPad. I had called my mother, sent her some money, and she picked them up for a special grandma date and sleepover. Once they were there, I FaceTimed them and told them I was working. I'm not working. I had a secret rainy day fund and splurged on a nice hotel and spa day, had a few drinks, cried my eyes out some more, and just spent the day unplugged and journaling all my feelings. I haven't had time to do any of that in a very long time. To clear up a few things, I shamefully do not know the extent of his debts. Much of it was from his parents putting bills in his name, other parts are just mismanagement of money, credit cards, etc. I took over the finances after I found a letter in the mail saying that we were going to lose the house. I was contributing to the household bills at the time, and he was handling the finances. I trusted things were well. This was after marriage and after kids. We went to counseling because of it, and he said he was ashamed and afraid to tell me the truth. I took over about 3 years ago and told him to focus on clearing his debt while I held down the household. I did not expect it to take this long, and with inflation, everything has just become more expensive and that much harder for me. I was supposed to go back to school, but that was put on hold so I could catch up on what we were behind on, hence the working 60+ hours. I'm a nurse, and I work 12-hour shifts, capitalizing on the overtime where I can. I agree with the comments saying I'm burnt out. I realized this today. I realize that, whether at work or at home, I'm constantly in critical thinking caregiver mode. My job is to care and problem solve for everyone but myself. To clear up the comment about his family not watching our kids, they did so once, but threw it in our faces, and I said never again. I see how they use him. I have said something before, and he responds with, "One day they won't be here, and I'll wish I could have done more." I told him that's fine, but he has siblings who are equally responsible, some of whom don't have spouses or kids and can contribute. As far as the housework and other things go, he does really help when he can. I think it came across that he comes home and does nothing. He just works up to 16 hours, 7 days a week, so a lot of times it's me doing the majority of it. As for the trips, yeah, that's a sore spot. He tells me about them, he takes the day off, and it pisses me off. I have to beg him to make time for me, and if and when we do get it, we end up in a fight, or I have to plan everything, or we can't get sitters and sit at home while he sleeps all day. And to be honest, I'm so full of resentment that it's almost too little too late. When I'm around him, I'm just so pissed off. He says I always have an attitude and that he's trying, but nothing is ever good enough. So, I just stopped and accepted my fate, hence the blow up. I haven't spoken to him yet besides telling him to call off his family. He was part of the do not disturb list on my phone. I'm enjoying the peace, I'm enjoying being by myself, and just being present and aware of my feelings. Knowing my kids are safe and I can truly take some time for myself and my mental health right now is everything. I know tomorrow I have to go back to reality and deal with everything. I promise to update when I can. Thank you all, and please keep the advice coming. I truly am alone on this one and need all the advice and support I can get. Update 2. Thank you all again for the advice. I woke up this morning with a clear head. I'm still upset and disappointed. I had tons of voicemails from his family, but I don't have the energy to listen to them all. I don't care, as I said, I'm angry but also feel embarrassed. I did call my husband this morning. I could tell by his voice that he didn't sleep last night, and he confirmed that he, in fact, did not. He told me that after the blow-up, he asked everyone to leave. He was surprised to see my mother as I sent her to pick up the kids. He said that's when it really became real. We had a long conversation. I did apologize for exploding and doing so in the way I did and not communicating better. He said he understands why I felt like I couldn't and was actually glad it happened the way it did. His family finally got to see how much they affected his home. According to him, after I left, he laid into them and told them that he can no longer be the only one to help his family out and that a lot of the mess he's in is their fault. He said that after the blow-up, he told his siblings they needed to step up and help with his parents. His parents were obviously upset with the whole ordeal. I couldn't care less, to be honest. They couldn't believe that they are such a burden because they ask for a little help from time to time. I just rolled my eyes in disgust as he was talking. My new space, along with my feelings of hurt and anger, just let me speak all my truths. I had nothing left to give or lose, so I told him how I felt about everything. He sat in silence for a while, then finally broke down and said he feels like a failure. He's ashamed of the debt and how much he has let us down. He said he was exhausted and has been feeling depressed because he couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel and feels as though he's ruined our future. That he goes out with his friends to feel normal in himself because all he does is work. He does this because of the black cloud that's been hanging over him. I wasn't my best self in this moment and told him to save me the self-pity, it's pathetic. I reminded him that he got himself into this mess and that I'm digging him out. I'm freaking depressed too, there's a ton of stuff I want to do that I can't because I'm financially unable. I went off about how, over the past 3 years, his income has gone solely to debt repayment yet there's no end in sight because I haven't even seen the so-called debt. I've given him my all and as much support as I could gather, but I'm angry. This isn't the life I pictured or set myself up for either. It's not the life my kids deserve. I've missed out on so much because I'm working, cleaning, or so tired I can't even open my eyes. I told him he has no one to blame but himself. I think my disdain was concerning. He said he will show and prove. He will print out his credit report and list all the debt he has along with all his pay stubs, bank records, and the receipts of what's paid off and whatever else I want as far as his finances are concerned. He promised me my hard work was not in vain and that he is almost debt-free. Come to find out, his parents opened credit cards and bills in his name when he was younger and accrued close to $100K of debt in his name, not including interest. They trashed his credit, and that's why it has taken so long. According to him, he has been fighting with collection companies to settle, trying to consolidate or get lower interest rates, as it was multiple companies and debts. What I didn't know is some were so bad his wages were being garnished. He was in tears and said he didn't know how to tell me. He didn't even know the extent of what they did. He was basically working all these hours with nothing to take home to us and accruing more debt just to survive. I stayed silent. My blood was boiling. He didn't even realize he just helped me make my decision. He jokingly said my outburst took care of the family situation, and that is why he texted me loud and clear, meaning he and they got the message. I told him I didn't find it funny. It's a shame that it took an outburst from me for everyone to hear what I've been saying all along. That he's an idiot for not filing charges on his parents and just taking it up the ass, allowing it to ruin my life, and the lives of the children we created. I told him he's spineless, and I feel so stupid. He said he didn't call me because he knew how mad I was and was scared he would say the wrong thing and say things just like that. I thanked him for the honesty in the conversation and told him I'm so broken, angry, and hurt right now that I can't even pick up my pieces, let alone his. Right now, I need to clear my head. He said he's willing to do whatever it takes to turn this around, even suggesting marriage counseling. He told me he used his PTO and took the rest of the week off to work on this. I lost it and sobbed uncontrollably. If it was that easy to take time off, why now and not then? I told him he needs the time off to find counseling, both personal and legal. I said I won't be coming home. He asked me if I was serious. He begged me to rethink my decision. He said all the things I've been wanting to hear. He asked me where I was going to go, and what about the kids, the house, and the bills. He said I couldn't tear the kids from the only home they know. I simply replied that I know this is what needs to be done, and I've already set the ball in motion. He hung up on me. I cried, then went to get the kids. We are going to have a wonderful week in a somewhat fancy hotel, swim in the pool, order room service, and make some memories. I took some of the money I had saved in my rainy day fund and extended my hotel stay to include me and the kids. I have an awful lot to catch up on with them. The look on their faces when I said, "No, mommy doesn't have to work tonight," was priceless. I also have an appointment with legal consultants tomorrow. Hopefully, I can talk to a lawyer and figure out what's next. Wish me luck, everyone, and thanks again.